We in Ireland find the TUAC meetings extremely helpful. We can exchange information with colleagues in many countries throughout the world. We can understand the trends and the pressures that teachers and lecturers are facing not alone in OECD countries but also in underdeveloped countries. And we can avail of the meeting as well to make our point very, very strongly to the governments of OECD countries concerning the problems that teachers and students are facing both in the OECD countries and in other countries throughout the world. We are very, very insistent that teaching is a professional commitment, and I am very concerned, and my union is also extremely concerned, that attempts to impose business models and to treat schools, universities and so on as some kind of industry, we think that can be very, very destructive and very, very counterproductive from all points of view in the field of education. And myself and my colleagues here on behalf of teacher unions throughout the world, we make these points very, very strongly through the OECD, to the OECD representatives, and through those representatives to the governments of the OECD. Education is a human right. It's not a commodity. And you know, as the Education International insists, and if one treats something that is a human right as a commodity, inevitably there will be damage done to education. A situation may arise, for example, where there is differentiation, where the same resources are not delivered to meet human educational needs as are being delivered in relation to industry-related skills, for example. And that's, even from an economic point of view, of course, that's a very, very short-term and very counterproductive approach. And we're making these points very, very strongly here at this meeting. My colleagues from all over the world are concerned about these trends, which we believe is damaging. These trends are damaging education and will continue to damage education unless governments realise that education is in fact a human right, a human need, has wide cultural implications, and that these implications and these values cannot be lost in some kind of rush to develop competencies. We are of course in favour, and strongly in favour, of developing competencies for the modern world, but we need a balance in which education as such, as a human need, as an enrichment of society, is not lost sight of and retains the emphasis that it should always have.